All right, good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020, and we're going to go over our work today. And please let me know if you have any questions on anything. Please let me know if you're having any trouble with any of our programs that we're doing. It looks like people are doing a great job with that this week. The only thing we're doing with Google Classroom is looking at our vocabulary, and then we're also doing our writing assignment. All right, so let's get started with today. Okay, we have a morning page 125 in your morning workbook, and then 2 more Spelling City assignments if you're not finished. And then on ReadWorks, we're going to be reading the story Amazing Animal Helpers, then do the question sets and the vocabulary. And then for vocabulary today, we're going to write a sentence with our vocabulary words, and then we're going to add a wow word. And so I'll go over that in the video today. And both of those things are in our Google Classroom. So no grammar today, no grammar lesson today. And then you're going to go to Google Classroom for lesson 7 of your informational writing. And then in Envision Math, we're going to be doing an interactive notebook lesson. We're going to cut out the fraction strips and glue them into your notebook. So let me just really quickly show you that we're not going to cut them out individually. We're going to cut them out. Let me see if I can make this bigger. We're going to cut them out as a whole. So I cut this sheet and this whole sheet and then this whole sheet. I colored them just because I like to have them colored. And then we'll go over that when we get to that section in our list of things to do. Okay, so on to our morning work. All right, today we're going to be writing a sentence. So you need a complete sentence on each line using the word. So the first one is there. Remember that we talked about these words there, and there. This there has an I in it, so it's talking about a group of people, and I am in a group of people. There, for the contraction, they are, they are going. They are doing this. And then this one is there as in, if you took the T off, we started here, and now we'll go there. Then we have then, like this will happen first. Then the next thing will happen. And then number 5 is than. So this is bigger than that, or this is slower than that. You're comparing two things. And number 4, then, is something that comes after something else. Like an event happens. So you'll write a complete sentence using those words. And then in math, look at the table and use it to complete the math sentences. So the table, we have a title that says comparing liquid volumes. So we're going to compare 1 milliliter is equal to 20 drops. So you could have 20 drops or 1 milliliter. A 1 liter is equal to 1,000 of these drops. 1,000 millimeters. So you could either say 1,000 millimeters or 1 liter. So now we're going to use that math to figure this out. So if 1 liter is 1,000, 2 liters would be 1,000 plus 1,000. 5 milliliters, so 5 of these would be the same as 20 times 5, and we've done that math problem before. So we're just thinking of the math problem. We've done it before where you see the 20 times 5. Count by 25 times. You could do that too. 40 drops is equal to how many milliliters? So 20 is one of them. 40 would be how many? And then number 9, 4,000 milliliters is equal to how many liters? Well, 1 liter is 1,000. So if I have 4,000, that means I have how many liters? And then number 10, 3 milliliters is equal to how many drops? So 3 of these is the same as 3 groups of 20. So we're again doing another little bit of math problem here. This time it's 20 times 3. Or you could skip count by 20. Either one's fine. Okay, on our story, read the text, then answer the question. The question says, what is the genre of the story? So what kind of story is it? And tell why you think so. So the kinds of stories we've been working on, I'll put a little list here. We've been working on realistic fiction. We've worked on historical fiction. We've worked on fantasy. We've heard of fairy tales. So there's just some examples. So let's read this one and see which one we think it is. I must write to let grandmother know that I will spend the summer with her. It's February, so I'll send the letter now to make sure it gets to her in time. It takes 10 days for the Pony Express to carry letters across the country on horseback. I live in New York and grandmother lives in California. So it's going to take 10 days to get there. I wish there was a faster way to tell her things, but there isn't. I wish there was a faster way to tell her things, but there isn't. And I wish there was a faster way to travel, as it will take me a whole month to get there by wagon. I'll have to start packing soon. So based on that information, what time frame, when do we think this story is happening? Realistic fiction, historical fiction, fantasy, fairy tale, what one do you think that is? Complete sentence. All right, so in our wow words, we're doing the word unreliable. And so we have the prefix, the root word, and the suffix. So un is our prefix, and rely is our root word, and able is our suffix. So this is also going to be in Google Classroom. You can go back and refer to that and fill that in. The prefix un means not. The root word meaning of the word rely is to depend on something or someone. So you're depending on them, you rely on them. And then able means able to. So the word unreliable means not able to rely on someone, depend on someone. So here's some words that we can use with the prefix un, meaning not. Unhappy means not happy. Unsafe means not safe. Unsaid means it wasn't said. Unopened means it hasn't been opened yet. And then some words using able as our suffix: lovable, likable, learnable. So if something is lovable, they are able to be loved. If something is likable, it is something that's able to be liked. If it's learnable, it means it is something that is able to learn. All right. So there's your fraction strips. So we'll look at that in just a moment too, when we put that into our Math is Fun interactive notebook. So you'll cut those out. Let me get to that picture really quick. All right, so there's the picture. I colored it in, but if you look at it, this is a whole piece. So each one of these strips is equal to this whole piece. Let's look at the first one. A half plus a half equals a whole. A third, and a third is equal to a whole. A fourth plus a fourth plus a fourth plus a fourth is equal to a whole. Because remember, 4/4 makes a whole, 3/3 makes a whole, 2 halves makes a whole. There needs to be 5 1/5 to make a whole, 6 1/6, 7 1/7, 8 1/8 pieces, 9 1/9 pieces, and 10 1/10 pieces. So what we're looking at, though, is how we can compare some of these. So if I have a half of something, I could also say I have 2/4 because 2 is half of 4. I can also say 1/2 is the same as having 3/6. See how the lines match up right here? 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 is half. Halfway, 3 is half of 6. So it's halfway across this whole strip. So we could take 3 of these little pieces and it would equal the same as a half. And then this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. See how this line matches up with these lines? So you could have 4 of these pieces would make the same as a half a piece. You could do 2 of these pieces, 2/8, and look, they equal the same as 1 of these 4s, 1/4. And then 9, we look at 9, I'm not sure, let's see, okay. 2 of these 9ths might match up to this 1/5. That's hard to see in the picture. And then we have 10. So right here is half. 5/10 is the same as 1/2 because 5 is halfway to 10. 5 plus 5 is 10. So we can compare some of these together. Looking at, let's go over to this one, looking at 1/3. So we have 3 of these 1/3, and that makes the same as a whole. We can also have 2/6 make the same as a third. You could have 3/6 is the same as a half. You can have, so 2/6 is a third, 2/6 is a third, 2/6 is a third. It's the same as that size. And then looking down here, 1, 2, 3, 3/9 is the same as 1/3. And I think that's all you can compare those two on that one. And then at the top here, we have a whole, half. We can see that 2/4 is the same as a half. 3/6 is the same as a half. 4/8 is the same as a half. And 5/10 is the same as a half. 1/10 is the same as 4/4. Excuse me, 10/10 is the same as 4/4. So hopefully that can make sense, to get that down there. So that's what we're going to be working on in topic 13 in our Envision, is how fractions can equal each other. All right, let's go over to Google Classroom. So in Google Classroom, you'll see you have writing lesson number 7. Let's click on that and see what we've got. So it looks like we've got a video of an icky spider. And then it looks like we've got expert words. And so they give you some examples. And then now you're going to type in your examples here. And then you're going to Then you're going to submit it. I guess it won't move. And that way you'll be all done with that classwork for the day. Then going down here, you'll find vocabulary pages. So if we open that, you should be able to see everything filled in. There's our definition. There's our synonyms and antonyms. There's our sentences, using them in a sentence. So a practical joke or trick is called a prank. I am planning a prank on my parents for April Fool's Day. Oh, I should say day. Go back in and fix that. Okay. Another word for prank is trick or joke. The opposite of being someone who's a prankster is honesty or seriousness. You're not going to joke around. Our word continuous is an adjective. It describes a noun without an end. So endless and constant are just like being continuous, and ending and interrupted are the opposite of continuous. So my sentence is, the brain needs a continuous supply of blood and oxygen to keep working. So that's a complete sentence using continuous in there. The next word is decline, unwillingness to consider an idea or request. So you refuse to listen to anything else. So a synonym for decline is refuse or reject. An antonym, or the opposite, would be accept or allow. So if you refuse or reject, it's also the same as decline. I tried to decline, but he insisted that I eat the cake. So they didn't want to eat the cake, but somebody insisted, so he did. All right, let's go to the second slide. And then we have pivot, to turn as if on a pin. Synonyms: turn, rotate, spin, or swivel. The opposite would be to stop or to be still. The dancer pivoted on her toes and changed direction. And then our last word is gnaw. It's a verb, to bite or chew with your teeth. So words that are similar: bite, chew, nibble. There are no perfect antonyms for gnaw. Our sentence: our dog will gnaw on his bone until it is gone. All right. So that should take us back to square one. That we've gone over everything for today's lesson. I will also include in today's email the daily assignment checkoff sheet. I don't know if everybody saw that, but I will attach it to the video today. So there'll be 2 downloads for packets. There'll be the classwork packet that has all of our work in it today, and then our daily checkoff sheet will be in there too. So the things that will be in your packet, all of that you would really need to print. So let's go over that real quick. You don't need to print your morning work page because you have it in the book. Okay, done with that. We don't need to print the wow word page because we have it in our vocabulary book. We also don't need to print anything for vocabulary because it's in our book. So the only thing we need to print today are these 2 pages of fraction strips. That's it. And now these don't go back to me. Remember, they go into your Math is Fun notebook. All right, guys, I'm going to do a read aloud of Wonder next, and then I will send everything to you. And I hope everybody's having a great day. And let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Let me scooch myself over here so I can stop our video.